Okay, welcome everybody. So this is the final session of this block. So I've done 28 sessions over the last 4 weeks. So I'm following it's Mahabodhi, Triratna Buddhist order. So I've been doing these sessions that began when Boris Johnson announced no gatherings policy, which was about 9 weeks ago, and I did a block of 28. In different sections and different series, really. So we did introducing meditation, and then what was after that? It was the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and the five Buddha mandala. I'll just show you here. So what's happened is everything's going up on YouTube. These are all the series on YouTube that are appearing on my YouTube channel, which is called Compassionate Response to COVID-19 with Mahabodhi. So here we've got 7 videos on Introduction to Meditation, 6 on Tibetan Book of the Dead, 9 on the Buddha's teaching on mindfulness. That's the exploring how conditionality and the 4 foundations of mindfulness fit together. And then we did practical aspects of isolation, looking at things like the Buddha's advice to Meghiya, which was to be around people that you admire. If you want to stay in good mental states, be around people that you can look up to and who embody something or model it. And then we looked into fear and dread and the Buddha on that. Going on solitary retreat, that sort of thing. Organised structure and organisation to your day. So that was all in the first block, 28 days. And then in the second block, which we're just finishing now, I went into friendship. We had 7 videos on friendship, making friends, spiritual friendship, the Buddha and Ananda. Ananda was the Buddha's companion, his cousin, who was with him a lot of the time. He would remember everything that the Buddha said, and so friendship is really important in Buddhism. And at the end of that, the last 3 videos in that session, I went into unconditional love or metta, in different aspects of it. So the different types of love that you get. From the Greek, you get agape and philia and eros, and the difference between them. And we also looked in that section in one of those videos at Pure Land Buddhism, and the idea that we can rely on higher power or some other power other than ourselves to look after us. We can have faith that there are forces in the universe that we can, in our imagination or in reality, whichever way we want to look at it, that are going to be helpful to us. And then in series 6, we had a good 10 sessions on ritual and devotion, looking into the Threefold Puja, which is the devotional text in Triratna, and all sorts of aspects like bowing, how a bow works, how to set up a sacred space, that sort of thing. And then the last but one series was Buddhist metaphysics. So went into the middle way, Buddhism and science, secular mindfulness, views, all sorts of things like that. So, and then finally we've been on meeting the order. So on first 2 days with Dharma Bandhu, I sort of had an introduction to Dharma Bandhu and his life, and then yesterday it's Sumana. So we've got Sumana again today, and so Sumana's a band, a musician, and we're gonna share the session between us. So let's go back to normal view.
Good morning.
Good morning
to you.
Good morning. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of an overview of where we are, so that if you can look back, or you can look onto YouTube, rather than look back through all the sessions on Facebook. They're all appearing on YouTube there, so you could just go there straight to that. If you in the future. So yeah, so I kind of feel a bit tired at the moment. I'm just kind of getting to the end of this series, and sometimes when you come to the end of something, you start to anticipate your time off, and I'm doing that, and I'm kind of going, oh, I'd like to stop now, but I can't stop now. We've got another session to do, yeah. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do some body work with us, and then I'm going to hand over to Sumana, and Sumana's going to do some meditation, loving kindness meditation. I need to slow down here. I'm speeding a bit. Sumana's going to do loving kindness meditation, and then he'll hand back to me. I'll do a threefold puja, and then I'll hand it back to him, and he's going to play some songs for us on his banjo. So this is our final session. Maybe it's a bit of a celebration of the whole thing, playing us out with some music and some gentle meditation. So we'll begin by doing some body work. So if you all want to stand up, and okay, just begin by rubbing your hands together and generate a bit of heat. And just drumming with your fingers on your head. So you need to be muted. Drumming with your fingers on your skull. Being aware of your contact of your feet and the ground. So you just need to slow down. I need to slow down. And the way that we do that is to come into our bodily experience. Hang on. Mute, so Suna's crashing around in the background. Okay, so yeah, coming into our physical experience. So make a sense of keeping your chest open. And take a few deeper breaths. Just drumming lightly with your fingers on the back of your skull, back of your neck. And then just brushing lightly down your arms. Just imagine that you're kind of taking any stress off the end of your hands, end of your fingers, and just throw it out of the window. So it's we might think, oh, you can't throw your stress out the window. What are you talking about? But I think that when we do something, we imagine it happening. It actually has an effect. Actions have consequences, and so even imagination has a consequence if we can believe it. So yeah, just throwing your stress out the window, off the ends of your legs, just brushing down your legs. And then just put your hands on your stomach, on your belly. Allow your breathing to calm down. And then as you notice that you're breathing out, bending your knees. Maybe just make it a bit deliberate. So maybe deliberately breathe out, and then on the in-breath, straightening your knees. So you're going down on the out-breath, and coming up on the in-breath and down on the out-breath. And just put your thoughts to one side, put your mind to one side, because anything that's not to do with your physical body is just going to be a distraction. So it's basically your breath and bending your knees is the two things going on. Bending your knees, straightening your knees. If you're not moving at all, notice whether you're moving. You might be a little bit stuck in your thoughts. So put them on the other side of the room, something like that. And then put your hands out the front of your hip, in front of your hips, and on the in-breath, bringing them up to your chin and turning at the chin and take them down on the out-breath. Turning at the hips, up on the in-breath, to your chin, turning at the chin, down on the out-breath. Coming up on the in-breath, and then going down on the out-breath. Up on the in-breath, down on the out-breath. Just feel the energy in the palms of your hands. Just imagine that there's some energy there that's as you move your hands through the air, it actually puts some pressure on that energy. You can feel it. And just imagine that as you bring your hands up, that there's a ball of energy that's coming up and down your spine. It's going down now to your hips, and then it's coming up the middle of your spine, then down. And then the next time, just keep going past your chin, up into the air with your hands, and then out to the sides, and down. Again, bring the ball at the centre of your body, and then it expands outward at the top there, and just gradually comes down again. Just getting into your own rhythm. You know, the rhythm that your body is happy doing. So we always need to be checking in with what the effect is of whatever we're doing. You know, bringing energy and relaxation into our body is the effect that we're looking for. So do you need to go slower? Do you need to go quicker? What has a better effect if you change it? Just note this, like the last one, just go very slowly down with your hands. Just allowing your arms to be down by your sides. Just experiencing your arms, experiencing your torso, experiencing your legs and your feet, your fingers, and your face and the crown of your head, and your clothing and the air and the ground. and then just moving into your meditation posture. Okay, so Sumana's going to lead us in Metta Bhavana.
Good morning, whoever's out there. This is new to me, sort of communicating, teaching over Facebook and Zoom. But it does work. It's surprising what we can do. And in a way, it's sort of pioneering perhaps new ways of communicating and practicing together. So we're practicing with others. And I don't know who's out there. Maybe Jaya Devi's out there. She has been on this site. Maybe Liz in Barnsley is out there. Jaya Devi used to live in Haggerston. That's where I am in East London. So we're going to do a practice of developing kindly, tender awareness called the Metta Bhavana, if you haven't done it before. And it's in 5 stages, and we'll do a few minutes of each stage, about 4 minutes each stage. And I'll ring a bell in between. Can you hear that? It's not too loud? Not too loud? I just got a couple of poems and a mantra before we start, put us in the mood. A mantra is a sort of sound symbol, and this one is... Mahabodhi mentioned the session on the Pure Land and Amitabha. Amitabha's this red like the setting sun figure, archetypal figure, symbolic figure, and particularly associated with meditation and with kindness, with love, and what's known as the Brahma Viharas. So this is a poem written by a lady I met in Southampton. I went down there they had a musical and poetry evening, and I spotted this book on the little book on the bookshelf. You can get it online apparently. It's called Building a Wall and Other Poems by Elspeth Wicketts, and this one is called just Amitabha. Put us in the mood. Then I'll just lead a mantra and just join in your own way. Then we go into the Metta Bhavana, kindness, first stage towards ourself, and I'll say a few words at each stage. Amitabha by Elspeth Wicketts. He who shines, radiating love, spreading his wings to encompass all, the weak, the strong, those whose needs go deep, that only he can fill, those that think he cannot touch, soften in his warmth. Even those who think they are alone, he fills their hearts with joy. So if you think your need is great, just whisper his name and he will come. So it's the other power side of the Dharma of Buddhism. So the mantra, I'll just chant it a couple of times and you can just come in your own time. I can't hear you, it's best to leave ourselves on mute during this. Om Amitabha, Om Amitabha, Om Amitabha. Om Amitabha, 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 Om Amitabha. Om Amitabha. Om Amitabha. Just finding comfortable, alert posture. We've tuned in with the exercises, physical exercises, a little bit of devotional chanting, summoning up the spirits of metta, of friendliness, kindness, care. And we start off acknowledging just how we are at this moment, just simply whether our overall feelings are pleasurable or not, just acknowledging where we're starting from. And whatever our experience, bringing as much care, kindness as we can muster. And we can simply use sentences. May I be well. May I grow and develop. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. First stage, Metta Bhavana. Developing kind, generous, caring feelings, wishes, intention towards ourselves, to whatever arises in our minds and hearts. Not forcing something to happen, just opening up our hearts, our minds to positive influences, to nature, to our well-wishing. Body and mind relaxed. Just breathing into any discomfort anywhere, and letting it just dissolve away as far as it can. Breathing naturally, freely. And in the second stage, we bring to mind a good friend, someone about the same age as ourselves, alive, and someone we're not particularly sexually drawn to. We just extend well-wishing towards them, either in memory, imagination, or in simple intentions. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from unnecessary suffering and difficulties. May they be free to grow and develop. body alive, alert, relaxed. Softening the face, the shoulders, around the heart. And moving on to the third stage, we direct the well-wishing, the metta, towards someone we see regularly, but we don't have particularly strong feelings either of liking or disliking. They're there, they're around. The metta is at best unlimited, unconditioned, so we exclude this. We include the person, a neutral person, and wish them, as far as we know, a wholesome, happy experiences. We wish them well. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. May they grow and develop. May they be happy. Simply doing the best we can. When our minds drift away, we just notice that and bring ourselves back to the third stage, neutral person. and spending a moment just tuning in with ourselves, well-wishing towards ourselves. Body alive and alert, mind alive, and moving on to the fourth stage. And extending well-wishing towards someone we're having difficulties with, or is having difficulties with us. And we acknowledge that they too are a living, feeling, thinking human being, and doing their best to live a satisfying life. We extend our emotional range to wish them well, as far as we're able. Posture alive, alert, open. And in the fifth, the final stage, we imagine all four people in the room with us. And we equalize the metta towards each person. Each person deserves or is equal well-wishing metta, a successful, happy life, the freedom to grow and develop. So we send metta out to each person equally. And when we're ready, just extending further throughout our room, the building, people who may be nearby. Generally extending to other people, friends, family, acquaintances, wherever they may be. Just spreading, developing a field of positivity, of metta, of positive emotion, of well-wishing. Perhaps we can imagine ourselves drawing in metta with each breath, and then sending it out again as we breathe out. May all beings prosper. May they be well. May they flourish. May they grow. May they be happy. Om Amitabha. 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 So I'll hand over to Mahabodhi.
Thanks, Sumana. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, it's so nice to be led in a meditation. It's the first time I've been led in one in 56 sessions. Phew. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Thanks. Are you muted?
Just to say thank you so much for your response to the situation over these weeks.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's gone into months, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Over these months. It's really a very generous, wholehearted response. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
And they're there to recap and go back on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Sumana. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay, so what we thought we'd do is move from the loving kindness meditation, and we'll just do a short devotional ceremony called the Threefold Puja. I've been doing these at lunch times, and just very, very, very delightful, simple verses in reverence to the Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha. So, so the way we normally do this is in call and response. So I would say a line, and then you kind of just repeat it back in the same way that I've said it. So I'll try and leave enough space so that you can do that, and so people will have different levels of interest and commitment to Buddhism, and some of you might just be seeing it, coming across it for the first time, so you can just listen if you want, or if you have some sort of feeling for meditation or for just spiritual life in general, you might have that as the thing that you're revering, that you're honouring, your own connection with something higher, something that helps you, So this is, we can put that in place of the Buddha if we want. So we'll begin just by having a little bit of quiet time, just a little bit settling down into our meditation posture. And maybe this puja can be the kind of final dedication, really, for the last 8 weeks. None of this would be possible without the Buddha, in having did what he did 2,500 years ago, without all the Buddhists over the centuries who've kept this tradition alive, the teachers that have been there in different traditions, Shantideva, who wrote the Bodhicharyavatara that the puja is based on, and down and down and down, Sangharakshita, my teacher, all the other members that have helped me keep sane and keep on the path and everything like that. So it's like these last 8 weeks have been something that I've passed on. I've not originated it. I've maybe interpreted things in a way I think's helpful, but it basically comes from the Buddha and from my teachers, from the Buddhist teachers of the past. Opening reverence. We reverence the Buddha, the perfectly enlightened one, the shower of the way. We reverence the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha, which leads from darkness to light. We reverence the Sangha, the fellowship of the Buddha's disciples, that inspires and guides. Reverence to the three jewels, We reverence the Buddha and aspire to follow him. The Buddha was born as we are born. What the Buddha overcame, we too can attain. Overcome. What the Buddha attained, we too can attain. We reverence the Dharma and aspire to follow it with body, speech and mind until the end. The truth in all its aspects, the path in all its stages. We aspire to study, practice, realize. We reverence the Sangha and aspire to follow it. The fellowship of those who tread the way, as one by one we make our own commitment, an ever-widening circle. The Sangha grows. Offerings to the Buddha. Reverencing the Buddha. We offer flowers. Flowers that today are fresh and sweetly blooming. Flowers that tomorrow are faded and fallen. Our bodies too, like flowers, will pass away. Reverencing the Buddha. We offer candles to him who is the light. We offer light. From his greater lamp, a lesser lamp, we light within us the lamp of Bodhi shining within our hearts. Reverencing the Buddha. We offer incense. Incense whose fragrance pervades the air. The fragrance of the perfect life, sweeter than incense, spreads in all directions throughout the world. So just spending a couple of minutes just quietly reflecting on absorbing those words. and Sumana's going to finish by leading us in a mantra.
Yes. I'm going to do the Shakyamuni mantra, which is recited in India, and sort of our solidarity with them, who of course are going through similar things to us, but maybe even more shortage of food. A lot of the labourers on the farms are making their way home, and some of the Buddhists there are providing food for them on their journeys. Muni Muni Mahamani Shakyamuni Sadhu. 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 We're just going into a period of just sitting when we're ready, just sitting quietly for about 5 minutes, just letting whatever be there arise. Enjoying the quiet, not just with ourselves, but with the others who are practicing here with us, and others who are throughout the world are practicing, bringing awareness and creativity, warmth to themselves and those around them. We're all part of this great project to transform this world. And whenever you're ready, just taking a couple of deeper breaths, just perhaps twisting from the waist, rolling the shoulders, and just bring yourself gradually out of this period of meditation.
Okay, so that was really nice to do a bit of practice together and to share the leading of that. So now we come to the final part of the whole series, which is a musical celebration. So Sumana's going to play us out with a few songs.
Okay, yes.
Over to you.
Well, a couple of poems set to music. First one's called The Animist, and it's been said to become a Buddhist, we first of all perhaps need to become pagans, or perhaps tune in with the natural forces of life, rather than the two religious forms of life, or the two theistic forms of life, or the monotheistic. Anyway, this is called The Animist. Feel like going down on my knee to this old mountain and these trees. 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, I could have worshipped them, I know, but in this our day and age, they lock you up in a padded cage. We make the world so mean and small, we lose the wonder of it all. We lose the wonder of it all. I should like to speak with a new voice, like Adam in the garden, speak like the rishis of old, announcing in strong, jubilant voices the sun, the moon, the stars, dawn, wind, fire, storm, and above all, the God-given, intoxicating soma. I feel like going down on my knees to this old mountain and these trees. 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, could have worshipped them, I know, but in this our day and age, they lock you up in a padded cage, made the world so mean and small. We lose the wonder of it all. We've lost the wonder of it all. Bring back the wonder, bring back the wonder. We've got to bring back the wonder of it all. Bring back the wonder of it all. New words come to me from the stars, from your eyes, from space. New words, vibrant, radiant, able to utter the new me, able to build a new world, for new men, for new women. Feel like going down on my knees. Feel like going down on my knees. Bring back the wonder, bring back the wonder. We've got to bring back the wonder of it all. Okay, so another one about potential, recognizing our potential and activating it. Another poem, and it's one of the founder of this movement, this Triratna, was known as the Friends of the Western Buddhist Order movement. He founded this movement, also a poet, amongst other things, and this was one I put a tune to. I think I sung it at his 70th birthday, which was quite a long time ago. It seemed quite old then, someone getting to 70. But I've got to admit that I'm almost in my mid-70s. So, anyway. Say we cry that we are weak, although we will not stir our secret wings. The world is dark because we are blind to the starriness of things. We pluck out our rainbow-tinted plumes, and with their heaven-born beauty try to fledge nocturnal shafts, and then we complain, alas, we cannot fly. We mutter all is dust, or else with mocking words accost the wine. Well, show us the sun which shines beyond the veil, then we close our eyes. To powers above and powers beneath, in quest of truth men seek for aid, who stand between the light and fear, the shadows that themselves have made. Cry no more that you are weak, but stir and spread your secret wing, and say the world is bright because we glimpse the starriness of things. Soar with your rainbow wings and read that near far land we're all one, where beauty's face is eye unveiled, and every star shall be a sun. Cry no more that you are weak, but stir and spread your secret wing. Cry no more that you are weak, but stir and spread your secret wing. Cry no more that you are weak, but stir and spread your secret wing. Secret wings. Okay. Thanks again. We are a community. We are part of a community, and we each play our part. And although we can't, unless you've got certain equipment that I haven't got, we can't see each other. We can on Zoom, but I can't. I can see Mahabodhi. I can't see whoever else is out there. But we are part of a community, and it's a great boon to know that we're chipping away, practicing in our homes, even when we can't actually meet in numbers, which the Buddha recommended us to meet regularly in large numbers. So thanks again to Mahabodhi and everyone who's turned up. I've got another song, Mahabodhi, but maybe you'd like to say something and I'll just play us out.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. So I'd like to thank everybody who's turned up over the last 8 weeks, and particularly I'd like to mention a couple of people I've felt a lot of support from. So Daniel Sliat, thanks very much. So I felt very supported by your kind of encouragement for me to kind of try and get the videos out there and newspapers and things like that. And and Liz Ashley. So yeah, I felt very, very supported by you as well. That you've just been there a lot of the sessions, and a really encouraging voice. So it makes a big difference when people are supporting you. They're kind of in your corner and everything. And but for everybody who's turned up and everybody who's, as I said before, all the kind of influences that I've had, my teachers, and and thanks to Sumana, thanks to Dhamma Bandhu, thanks for people who've made donations to the site to pay for data and to pay for the videos getting converted and put onto YouTube. Thanks for Sangadara for doing that, and yeah, thanks to Buddha, thanks to my agent. Thanks. I don't have an agent.
Not yet.
Yeah. Thanks to all the people who are going to watch this in the future and maybe share it, pass it on, and so yeah, we are trying to it maybe is going to be a bit of a different world out there when we come out of lockdown. The world comes out of lockdown, and hopefully, some of what we've explored in the last two major sessions, the last 2 seasons in a way, last 8 weeks, will be helpful to people in the future. But yeah, maybe we need to keep thinking about, well, what sort of world do we want to be bringing into being? And it's always alive. Buddhism's always alive. It's a living tradition. So what do we need? What do we all need? And what do we need to bring into being for each other? And how can we support each other? And what do we need? What do we not need so much? Maybe. So yeah, these are all kind of active questions that people of awareness are trying to keep in front and center, so that we're facing whatever comes with our eyes open. So yeah, so that's it. That's for me. That's all from me. And that's all from him. And so Sumana's going to play us out. with and roll credits.
I'm leaving the places I used to go, and all of the faces I used to know. Pack up my bags now, head out for the road. Gotta get back into the flow. Somewhere a song plays on the radio, and I think of the old days, high times and low. There's always a price to pay for the way that we never chose. Gotta get back into the flow. Looking for something on the horizon, thinking the time has come to be gone. I'm moving on. Now that I'm older, I'm taking things slow, looking over my shoulder at the seeds I sow. Maybe the rivers know the way that weeds follow. They're calling me back into the flow. You and me together, lost in an old photo, together forever. I don't know where those days all go. If all those traces still seem to show, like the empty spaces where the fall winds blow. If all those days were wasted, maybe tomorrow we'll find our way back into the flow.
Jai Bim, Namo Buddhaya.
That do.
Thanks.
That is.
Thank you.
That is.
Okay. Thanks.